Hello everyone. I wanted to send you a quick video to explain some of the changes to the CPA exam. We should start hearing some questions about this. And so I wanted to make sure everyone was aware of the changes that are happening, at least a little bit of foundational changes. And that way, when we meet next week, we can talk about any questions you have. And if you are unable to attend next week, just email me or give me a call if you have other questions. So let's talk about this CPA evolution. First of all, I want to explain why you need to understand this, even though you're not teaching any upper level courses or maybe haven't even had a student ask about it yet. So right now we're in that column that says 21, 22. That's our academic year right now. As you can see, it's affecting every one of our students currently. But this is new to them, and word is just now getting out that the CPA exam is starting to change. Maybe some of our freshmen and sophomore in our intro classes are just signing up for that free student membership to the Illinois CPA Society. So they might be getting some emails, not quite sure what this is, but you can expect come next year that you're going to get some questions on this. So I just want to give you some of the information that I've received. Again, a lot of this information we're getting, not many people quite understand the impact of the changes that are going to be made. So the best we can do is just let our students know what we know and then try to research any question that they might have that we don't understand yet. So again, these changes are going to take place January 2024. That's when the CPA exam is going to change. So anybody starting next year, from our freshmen to our CPA level students, this is going to impact them. So you should be hearing questions come next year for sure. So what does it look like? The CPA exam will still have 4 sections to it. You still just get that CPA. It doesn't depend on any of the disciplines that you're going to take. And I'll explain what that means. So what happens is, even though you still have to take 4 sections, your first 3 sections are now called your core sections. Everyone will take these 3 sections. We have the financial, the audit, and the tax. Those are not going to change. A little bit of the content in them will, and mainly that change is going to be integrating technology throughout these 3 sections. So you may have heard some buzz about data analytics. That's because each of these sections are going to have that type of question being asked as it relates to that core content. So they'll be integrating data analytics, they'll be integrating Excel in all of these classes or all of these core topics. How does that impact you? Well, especially in our intro classes, we need to make more of an effort to show our students what Excel is, what we do is some basic data analytics. So once they get to these upper level courses, we're not teaching that from the start, and we can really get into how data analytics, Excel, everything, technology is used to manipulate and get the data we want out of our information. So again, our job in our intro classes is making sure that we start introducing some of this technology. So we have these 3 core sections that everyone will take. Then our students are going to be able to pick a discipline area. So that 4th section that they take is their discipline area. It can come in tax and compliance and planning, business analytics and reporting, or information systems and control. They will get to pick whatever discipline they want, and they will take that. It does not matter what discipline the student takes for the job that they get. So let's say a student passes the tax compliance and planning, but really wants to do audit. That's fine. You still have your CPA license. This is just a way of giving a student an option to kind of master the skills or show mastery in one area if they choose to do so. So they'll pick one of these areas, test only in that area, but then still just get that regular CPA license. So what's happening now is they've done some research. They're kind of looking at what this looks like and trying to change all the questions, get some new information out. They don't plan on being done with this until January 2023. And then they're going to launch that first new CPA exam in January 2024. The problem that we have from an academic standpoint is that they're not going to release much of this information right in January of 2023. So, and our publishers don't know what that looks like. All of their CPA review materials, no matter where you take it, is not going to have that information. So our students are kind of, especially if they're starting in January 2024, they're going to go into this a little bit blind as to what these questions are going to look like. So that's why it's our job to start introducing this new type of technology and Excel and everything else as early as we can so our students are familiar with it going forward. So how does this look? Well, if a student has already started taking the CPA exam, they're kind of grandfathered into that old section, but it just translates into that new CPA format. The audit, financial, and tax just transfer over to those core content areas. And then if they've taken and passed BEC already, then it just goes into one of your discipline areas. So what I've been telling my CPA students is to start taking the exam now if they're eligible and ready, because if they've passed a section, it's still going to count. Students have that 18-month rule where, if you pass audit in 18 months, you have 18 months to complete all of the other sections as well. So this translates, people can still take the test in 2023 and have that 18 months to complete everything. Again, if they take that BEC section now, it just counts as as any of those electives. It'll translate over. They will not have to take a new discipline. So some of the changes that are going to be being made, especially we'll go through financial accounting a little bit more. You can ignore the module and topic. That just relates to the CPA review course material. But I wanted to just show you how the material is changing just a little bit. You'll see the technology trends and how they impact financial reporting and identifying technology applications and how to use them. So that's why it's so important that we start introducing these topics in our intro level classes so that by the time they hit our upper level classes, they have a little bit of foundation on this technology, and then we could really start using it and showing them how it impacts our financial data. We don't want to start that in our upper level classes because we want them to already have that foundation so that we can really get into how it's being used and what it's used for. Some of the other changes, just in case you're curious or you want to know, are going to be to the audit section. This should not impact any of our intro courses, but it will impact our audit course, and you might hear some questions about it. So they're adding this new topic of understanding an entity and its environmental external factors. So looking at how the environment is impacting economic activity is basically what that's saying. And they're looking at characteristics of market types, which they haven't before, in relation to audit and attestation. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of background. We'll answer questions, but I just wanted to give you a quick update. We are trying to stay on top of this, but again, most everyone in this industry is still a little questioning as to what is really happening, because they're not giving out a lot of information because it's not going to be finalized until 2023. So as we learn more information, I will again send out any of that, but I wanted to give you this basic understanding. And again, we'll go through any questions that you have at our meeting next week. Otherwise, email me if you have any specific questions. Also, if you want to learn more about it and just read into it, there's a great website. It's www.evolutionofcpa.org, and this goes through all the changes and explains everything in detail. Again, let me know if you've got questions, and we'll talk soon.